Please be seated. Thank you. Honorable Ambassador Mahmoud Thabit Kombo, Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Honorable Deputy Ministers, Permanent Secretaries and Deputy Permanent Secretaries, Your Excellency Dr. Ahmad El-Badawi Mohamed Faki, Ambassador of the Union of Comoros and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies, Heads of Diplomatic Missions and International Organizations, Heads of Departments, Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct honor to welcome you all to this gathering, the Sherry Party. I don't know why it's called the Sherry Party. And to welcome you to the State House. As this is our first encounter of the new year, on behalf of the government and people of the United Republic of Tanzania, want to wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. Let me also seize this opportunity to welcome the new members of the diplomatic community. Please do feel at home. You can count on our support during your tour of duty as we work to strengthen our relations and cultivate meaningful partnerships. Allow me now to thank very sincerely the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps for the great speech, the speech that had the congratulatory message, that highlighted what has been done by my government, that has mentioned other diplomatic activities performed, and also highlighted diplomatic visits made. Thank you very much. United Republic of Tanzania stands firm in its commitment to continue engaging with the international community to foster cordial relations, increase economic interactions, strengthen global partnerships, and promote international peace and security. I also underscore our commitment to the principles of mutual respect, inclusivity, and shared prosperity. Excellencies, the year 2024 was a historic one for Tanzania as we marked 60 years of the founding of the United Republic of Tanzania. Our unity and cohesion continue to weave the social fabric into the canvas on which rests our development aspirations. To further promote unity and cohesion, as I've done since my assumption to office, it is my desire to continue to prioritize reconciliation, resilience, reforms, and rebuilding principles which have contributed to Tanzania's progress and transformation by creating conducive environment for business and investment to thrive. Looking on the economy of our country, similar to the past few years when Tanzania continued to witness commendable progress and transformational changes, the year 2024 was no different. The GDP grew at a rate of 5.4%, a slight increase from 5.3% growth for the same entire year of 2023, both far and above the 3.8% that the African Development Bank estimated as the average growth rate on our continent. We attracted substantial foreign direct investments with over $7.75 billion worth of projects registered in 2024 alone. Zanzibar also demonstrated remarkable progress, attracting about 116 projects with a combined value of $0.62 billion, generating approximately 3,376 jobs, and reinforcing its critical role in the nation's economic diversification. These surge investments reflect the growing confidence in our commitment to a sustainable development and inclusive economic growth, positioning Tanzania as a key player regionally and globally. The favorable outlooks given by Fitch and Moody's in 2024 further reaffirm international confidence in our economic growth trajectory and resilience. Excellencies, we have seen growth in many sectors, and for instance, the export sector has equally achieved significant milestones, with exports of goods and services estimated at $15 billion by September 2024, representing approximately 19% of GDP, as an impressive growth, an impressive rise from $13.5 billion in 2023. Growth in the agriculture sector has raised food self-sufficiency ratio to 128% and expanded exports of priority crops, enabling Tanzania to play a crucial role in a regional food security. Tourism, a cornerstone of Tanzania's economic transformation, earned an estimated $3.6 billion in 2024, up from $3.4 billion in 2023 and $2.5 billion in 2022. This growth underscores the sector's pivotal role, contributing over 17% to GDP and 24% of foreign exchange earnings. We remain committed to promote growth in this sector and propelling to our target of welcoming 5 million tourists a year. A strong economy needs skilled and healthy workforce. With this in mind, we have continued to invest in improving the quality and increase access to health services. This will continue to be a priority area, notably as pertains to child and maternal health services. On education, in 2024, we began implementing the changes to our education system, which will transform it from a knowledge-based to a skills-based system. This is in line with our aspiration to ensure our youth are fit to meet the demands of the labor market. Excellencies, in 2024, we reached key milestones as some of our flagship infrastructure projects took off. The launch of the standard gauge railway or railway services between Dar es Salaam and Dodoma and the Julius Nyerere hydropower project are expected to bring about transformative changes in our economic landscape by enhancing connectivity, ensuring energy reliability, and catalyzing industrialization. Another area of priority for us was managing our tax administration. So last year, we formed the task force, which was entrusted to research and study our tax system and then come up with a recommendation to make it better. So we are expecting to receive the report maybe in March this year. Excellencies, in all respects, the achievements cited, coupled with the government's unwavering commitment to foster a competitive and inclusive business environment, position Tanzania as an unparalleled hub for both trade and investment. The time to harness Tanzania's immense potential is now. We welcome our friends and partners to be an integral part of this transformation. Talking of governance, as I noted, the 4 R's principle have continued to be our guide. we have worked tirelessly to advance democratic reforms and foster political inclusivity. Through reconciliation efforts, we have created an environment that encourages open dialogue, promotes unity, and consolidates our democratic institutions for the benefit of all Tanzanians. These dialogues have enabled us to introduce landmark electoral reforms, strengthen the credibility of our electoral processes, and ensure peaceful local government polls in 2024. As we prepare for the 2025 general elections, we are committed to uphold transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. Equally important, that we expect to conduct political dialogues so as to keep you, the diplomatic community, informed throughout the election period in the manner prescribed by the relevant authorities. The intention is to provide first-hand information rather than letting you mesmerized by the distorted information. Excellencies, in 2024, Tanzania worked to strengthen its bilateral ties with your respective countries, from high-level visits to technical exchanges between Tanzania and your countries. We were able to establish vital platforms and conclude agreements that will deepen bilateral cooperation in areas key to Tanzania's development. I thank you, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, for your collaboration in realizing these visits. These interactions have not only served to contribute to increase the trade and investment, but they have also opened up the opportunities in key sectors such as socioeconomic sectors, energy, ICT, defense, and the blue economy. We'll continue to advance bilateral engagements to drive growth and advance mutual beneficial partnerships. Furthermore, we will continue to advance cooperation to foster a conducive environment for trade and investment. On regional perspective, regional integration remains a cornerstone of Tanzania's foreign policy. In November last year, Tanzania was honored to host the East African Community Summit as we marked the 25th anniversary since its re-establishment. Having grown from 3 to 8 partner states, the EAC integration has bolstered intra-regional trade, which rose sixfold from $1.8 billion in 2005 to $12.1 billion in 2023. Increased capital flows and provided essential goods and services that are critical for industrialization. With its expanding membership, the EAC now presents a population of over 302 million and a combined GDP of US $312.9 billion. While progress has been substantial, challenges such as non-tariff barriers, inadequate hard and soft infrastructure, connectivity, and pockets of instability persist. Tanzania remains committed to addressing these issues in collaboration with the partner states, and we extend gratitude to all of our partners for their continued support in advancing the region's integration agenda. Excellencies, in August 2024, my country assumed the chairmanship of the Southern African Development Community organ on politics, defense, and security cooperation that reinforces its commitment to regional peace and stability. Tanzania commends the Republic of Botswana, Mauritius, Mozambique, and Namibia, which have held elections, and for advancing the region's aspiration of consolidating democracy through general elections. We also commend Angola for their facilitation of the Luanda process. will continue to work in collaboration with SADC member states to promote peace and stability in the region, and we will also continue playing our role in peacekeeping in the region and beyond. In March 2024, as monthly chair of the African Union's Peace and Security Council, Tanzania hosted the commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the establishment of this continental organ, charged with promoting peace, security, and stability in Africa. We took note of the achievements made, as well as the key threats and institutional gaps. With the wide-ranging challenges facing the continent, we believe the AU, or African Union Summit, next month will be pivotal in enhancing the capacity of this continental body to meet the needs and aspirations of its people. The United Republic of Tanzania remains resolute in its commitment to fostering good neighborliness, African unity, and cooperation. Our active participation in sub-regional, regional, and continental organizations such as the EAC, SADC, AU, and ICGLR will continue to focus on advancing regional integration, promoting peace and security across the continent, and fostering inclusive socio-economic development. Looking at the global perspective, despite ongoing geopolitical tensions and its impact on economic performances, there are signs of cautious optimism as the global economy is projected to grow by 3.3% in 2025, up from 3.2% in 2024. Notwithstanding this situation, we remain vigilant against risks that could hinder this progress. Addressing these challenges require collective action to curb tensions and ensure resources are properly channeled towards achieving sustainable development goals. Moreover, reforming global governance institutions is essential to create a more equitable, representative, and effective framework for decision-making. Excellencies, 2024 was an eventful year, and the events of 2024 once more underscored the importance of strengthening multilateralism to address global crises. Dialogue and diplomacy are critical in resolving the ongoing conflicts and mitigating the effects of unilateral measures that contravene international norms, customs, and laws. Additionally, ensuring global and regional stability also needs collective action against international terror or terror networks and trans-border crimes. We in Tanzania reaffirm our commitment to working with partners in combating these challenges and to foster peace and security worldwide. Tanzania also remains steadfast in its support for climate action. Building on recent multilateral forums such as COP29 in Baku and the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, our efforts focus on advancing renewable energy initiatives, addressing climate resilience, and ensuring equitable access to global climate finance and debt sustainability. Similarly, addressing global health challenges remains a priority, particularly in combating outbreaks such as monkeypox, measles, Marburg, and COVID-19. Equitable access to vaccines and effective healthcare systems are essential to ensure better health services as a fundamental human right for all. Tanzania will continue to be an active and reliable global partner. Our participation and contribution to the Summit on Clean Cooking in Africa, convened by the International Energy Agency, the Saudi Africa Summit, the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, and the G20 Summit in Rio de Janeiro, and the Korean African Summit, the launch of African-Italy Matei Plan, and engagement with the Millennium Challenge Compact, all point our commitment to furthering global sustainable development. Through these platforms, Tanzania has championed initiatives such as the $12 billion Clean Cooking Transition Facility for Women in Africa, advocated for food security, and pushed for reforms in the global financial architecture. Excellencies, as we look ahead in the year 2025, Tanzania remains steadfast in advancing its foreign policy priorities, focusing on fostering regional and international cooperation to address pressing global challenges. A key milestone early on this year will be Tanzania hosting of the African Heads of State Energy Summit, M300 or Mission 300, in partnership with the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and the African Union. This summit will bring together leaders, policymakers, and industry experts from across the continent with an ambitious goal to connect 300 million Africans to electricity. This summit represents a defining moment in Africa, or Africa's efforts to achieve energy security and sustainable development. But to us, the summit is also taking place at an interesting point for Tanzania. On one hand, we have enhanced our country's energy generation capacity through the 2,115 megawatt Julius Nyerere hydropower project being finalized by the Egyptian El Swedi Electric in partnership with the Arab contractors. It is also coming at a time when Tanzania has connected to the East African power pool with Kenya, and energy transmission trials are currently underway. Backed by the World Bank, work is also underway to link Tanzania to the Southern African power pool via Zambia, completion of which will be a key step to enabling Tanzania serving as a country linking the Eastern African and Southern African power pools, and thus facilitating trade in energy and contribute to access to electricity for people from Egypt to South Africa. The summit is also coming at a time when Tanzania has completed two interstate energy generation projects on trans-boundary water resources. One, which I launched with President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda on Africa Day in 2023, the Murongo Kikagati hydropower project, and another one, which I'll soon inaugurate with the Excellencies, the Presidents of Burundi and Rwanda, the Rusumo hydropower projects. I firmly believe the Africa Energy Summit will provide a platform for fostering further collaboration, sharing innovative solutions, and mobilizing resources to tackle the continent's energy challenges. Tanzania is honored to play a leading role in these efforts, reaffirming its commitment to advancing energy access and sustainability across Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to the Energy Summit, at international forums, including the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development, 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9, the World Expo 2025 in Japan, COP30 and the Indian African Summit, Tanzania will continue to champion the priorities of the African continent, including debt relief and access to concessional financing, climate financing, and enhancing global peace and stability. Our active participation in these forums reflects an unwavering commitment to fostering multilateralism and achieving shared prosperity. Furthermore, Tanzania will deepen its regional cooperation through platforms such as AU, the EAC, and SADC, with a focus on strengthening trade, economic integration, and people-to-people exchanges through these frameworks. These efforts align with our broader vision of creating a unified, resilient, and prosperous Africa. In 2025, we'll finalize two key strategic documents. One is the Tanzania Development Vision. The new vision document will not only guide our development priorities and plans for the coming decades, but will also guide and engagement with our partners. The second is the review of our foreign policy, whereas it will reiterate our founding principles and reaffirm our traditional policy stances. It will also seek to enhance our approach to economic diplomacy to modernize and industrialize the country's economy. The new policy document shall consider provision for special status for the Tanzania diaspora community to participate in Tanzania's development. Excellencies, in conclusion, allow me to extend my heartfelt gratitude to your presence here today, for your presence here today. We continue to count on your friendship and solidarity as we continue to navigate shared challenges and seize opportunities for collective progress. Your invaluable contributions to Tanzania's development and your unwavering support in addressing global challenges are deeply appreciated. As we step into this new year, let us renew our shared commitment to dialogue, partnership, and multilateralism. Rest assured that Tanzania remains a reliable partner and advocate for inclusivity, solidarity, and also shared prosperity. With those words, I now wish you a prosperous and successful year ahead. Now, may I invite you to join me in proposing a toast. Do we have glasses? So it's going to be an empty-handed, or we'll do it when we have our dinner. Yeah, that's better. So thank you very much. Thank you for your kind attention. Asanteni sana.